All right, so I've had a lot of people asking about this car. This is just going to be, a video with some descriptions, walk around, and a cold start of the 1961 Triumph TR4 that I've listed for sale. So this is a 1961 TR4. It's built in 1961. I will say that the title has it titled as a 62 because when Triumph titled their cars, they titled it when it was sold. So 61 build, sold in 62, title is a 62. I do have the British Motor Heritage Certificate that shows the build date of 61 and shows that the engine is numbers matching. So that's really cool. A few things that are very unique and special about these early TR4s. It's one, the 48 spoke wire wheels. I mentioned this in the ad, but I do have a set of 72 spoke wires that I will include as well. Another thing is the early TR4 seats. They only use these on the really early TR4s. So hard to find. I don't think you will ever find another set of these seats. Another thing is this. So this is an aluminum center dash piece. First of all, it's really rare that we actually have an early TR4 that still has the white dash because they often replaced it with wood. I think the white metal looks way better. But this aluminum dash piece was specific to early TR4s. Pretty shortly into the production cycle, they updated that to a black, like crinkle finish metal piece. But the aluminum looks really nice. A few other things I really love about this car. The gear shift knob is original, steering wheel is original. These e-brakes are super special, right? You pull it up and you hit the button to lock it, and you pull up and then release it for it to be released. Overall, this car is in pretty good condition. I did note that there's a little bit of rust. You can see like down here in the rockers, nothing on the frame. I have photos of the underside too that I'll post as well. A few other spots, a little bit right there, a little bit of bubbling right there. But I mean, overall, I bought this car because it was solid. I was never going to drive it in the rain anyway. And I love the fact that it's unrestored. It's so cool. I did pull a floor mat out so you can see the floors. There have been a few small repairs made to the floors. Mainly, there's a little bit of fiberglass here just to strengthen it up because there was a crack kind of down this side. Same thing right here, and then one other spot on the other side. But the floors are so solid in this that it wasn't really worth replacing. Just that little bit of fiberglass just kind of seals it off to make sure nothing else would spread. Tires, brand new Continentals. I believe these are 165s. These were actually bought by the previous owner, but I think they had like 20 miles or something on them when I bought the car, so brand new. The hood, as you can see, is not the original hood. Not sure what happened to the original, but it is neat that this is correct. This is a short bubble bonnet, which is, again, really hard to find because it was only specific to TR4s with SUs. The Stromberg cars had a longer bubble bonnet. Now, one of the great things about this car is that it just had a rebuilt motor. So I built this motor myself. I've built several Triumph and MG motors in the past. It's been a hobby of mine. I've owned a lot of these cars. I can provide receipts for all of the parts and everything that I bought. I did have a machine shop rebuild the head because I wanted hardened seats installed and I wanted them to check out the cracks and everything. So I'll provide that, assuming I can find it as well. But a few things that are kind of neat about this motor. I kept pretty much as much stock as I could, or at least I wanted it to look pretty stock. So it still has the original early TR4 manifold. I did put a wrap around it to kind of keep the temps down near the carbs. It has the original radiator still has the original generator, and the original generator works great. Original valve cover, which I really like. I did new heater valves all around, but I made sure I retained the original style of hose clamps. New heater hoses, or new coolant hoses. But I used the original style of hose clamps. I didn't use the cheap looking, modern ones. Original oil filter housing. This little gasket down here on the end should be replaced. I'm going to do it next time I do an oil change. It drips a little bit, but not all that much. Lucas Sports Coil, of course, and then a rebuilt 25D distributor from British Vacuum Unit with the correct vacuum hose as well, right? This is not like a rubber one, it's correct. Let's see what else about this motor. Yeah, so I actually built this to look pretty stock, but it's been upgraded a little bit on the inside. It has 87mm pistons. It has a BP 270 cam. Like I said, it had headwork done with hardened seats and a slight skim just to kind of clean everything up. It has an updated water pump, but it does have the original bellowed thermostat, which is really important on these cars. You don't want to use the aftermarket cheap one. New timing gear all around. New bearings that are 0.010 over for both the main and the rod journals. The clutch is practically new. Again, that was an item that was replaced like 20 miles before I bought this car, so I did reuse the clutch, but it's brand new. It looks brand new. You can still see like the chalk marks on it, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's mainly it. I mean, this motor is fresh. I've spent tons of money putting this motor together. I originally pulled it out because it ran good when I bought it. But it just leaked everywhere and the block was painted white. So I pulled it out to paint the block and to reseal it, and I just ended up doing a full rebuild. Oh, the other big thing on this car is that it does have the updated rear main seal. So the Viton rear main seal that, you know, is an actual seal instead of just a scroll wheel. It has that, which is a really nice addition. Yep, new lifters, new tappets, literally everything in this motor is brand new. Original clutch and brake hydraulics. Brakes work really well. There's no play in the pedal at all. There is a new soft clutch line going down to the slave cylinder. All of that works great. Okay, moving over here, I took photos of the inside of the trunk, very rust-free. It's in very good condition. I'll make sure I post those. The transmission, so I have two transmissions with this car. The one that's in here is not the original. This is one that I picked up. It works fine. The second gear is starting to go a little bit, so sometimes it'll pop out a second, but it's not that big of a deal. The original transmission has a bad third gear synchro. So my plan was to drive it with this one and then put a new synchro in the original transmission and just swap them at some point. If you've ever worked on these, you know that pulling a transmission and, you know, completely swapping out a transmission in this car only takes about 2 hours. It's really easy. Yeah, what else do we have going on? We have the dash pad, which is cracked. I do have a new one that will be included in the sale. I honestly don't really mind it that much. That's why I haven't replaced it. But yeah, overall, it's a really solid car. It drives awesome. I really love it. I've loved working on it, but I really like projects, and, you know, finishing this one up, I think this is kind of as far as I want to take it now that it drives really well. So I'm ready for another one. Oh, as you can see, the bumper is missing. I do have the original bumper. I kind of like the no bumper look on this car. I don't know why. But yeah. What we'll do now is we'll hop in and we'll do a cold start. It is outside, but I haven't started it. Like I can touch the block right here. It's ice cold. I just pushed it from right over there because I wanted to be in the sun. Okay, pull that open. Okay, so key on. See the ignition light comes on. See if I can do this with one hand.